Hello there, I'm Caroline Tweedy and I'm here today as part of the Queen Elizabeth Gateshead's podcast. I'm with Nicola Wood today. She's founder of the Wonderful Wig company and she's here to tell us about her incredible story. Nicola, how are you doing? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you, Caroline.
Thank you so much for coming today. I'm sure everybody will be really interested to know of how it developed and where we are today. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about it?
Okay, so I'm Nicola Wood and I'm from Sunderland. I'm a hairdresser by trade and I've run a salon for 15 years maybe, or 15 years when my story began. When I was 36, I found a lump in my breast and was referred to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. It turned out that I had breast cancer. So I went through treatment at the Queen Elizabeth, and it was during my time in treatment seeing so many women without hair and so many women wearing wigs, which I felt I could tell were wigs, that I'd kind of decided, had a bit of a light bulb moment sitting in the waiting room one day and just thought, you know what, I could do better than that. I could sort of, I want women to wear wigs that don't look like wigs, and I want women to sort of hold the head up high through treatment, all treatment. So I had this bit of an epiphany in the middle of my treatment that I was going to do something about the hair loss service in the northeast, and so that's what I did.
Yeah, and I think that's what, as working as a breast care nurse, I think a lot of ladies, when they're given a diagnosis and then they're told that they need chemotherapy, they feel sometimes, some ladies so guilty that one of the biggest worries is the hair loss. Was that something that you can kind of understand?
Yeah, I would say we've seen thousands of women now for hair loss, and I've actually just concluded a research project with Newcastle University, and we have proved scientifically that hair loss is women's number one concern when it comes to chemotherapy. They rate the hair loss as their number one concern, and yes, they do feel guilty, and it's crazy, because they feel like it's a vanity thing, and it's actually medically induced. Losing your hair is a medical thing. It's not a vanity thing,
and it's their identity as well. They've already been through surgery, so their body image is changed, but often with that they can cover it up. It's for nobody else to see, nobody else needs to know. I think a lot of the time with the hair loss, it's so visible, and they don't want to be sort of sat with a tag on, cancer patient, and I think that's what they're scared of. So if there's a young lady who's sitting there and they've been told that they need chemotherapy, what would your advice be about what is the next stage that that they would do for that?
So I think it's important to act quite quickly. A lot of people, when they have the diagnosis, a lot of people think that they might be the 1 in a million who don't lose the hair, and I think that's something that I really have to be quite. I believe in telling women the truth, and if you're told that you're going to lose your hair, then it will happen, and so that the best thing to do for accepting that is to prepare for it. If you do nothing about it, the women who lose the hair and then come and see us are the ones who are most distraught. So as soon as you know that that's going to happen, as much as nobody wants to go shopping for a wig, it's not something any of us would want to do, but just to get some support straight away about the hair loss, because within finding out your chemotherapy, it can be within weeks, so you might be having your treatment, so it's important that you act upon that quickly.
Because I think a lot of ladies, when they're waiting, because often we advise ladies to wait at least sort of 4 to 6 weeks before they start chemotherapy after having their surgery, and it's that kind of sit and waiting game, but they can use this time as kind of preparation, and I think it's a doing thing, and it's a distraction, isn't it?
It definitely is, and I think as well, a lot of women dread it and actually end up enjoying the process of trying things that they've never tried. Quite often all you hear is laughter from our studio, where you'll put something on and go, oh, you look like your Auntie Margaret in that wig, or things like that. But also at a time when your life is very much out of control, you going and choosing the hair and sort of deciding when your hair is going to come out, making sure that you planned, gives you some control back at a time when you've got very little control. So a lot of people find it very kind of empowering to have that kind of box ticked, right, I'm ready for the hair loss because I've got a beautiful wig and I love it and I feel comfortable in it and my family love it, and then it's one thing less to think about in everything that you've got to do.
So, Nicola, what would a patient expect, if they come into the salon? Obviously they're very scared, don't want to be seen, anybody, don't want people to look at them going through this process. Is it a very sort of private area that there would be?
Absolutely. So from the moment you make contact with one of our team, all of our team are trained, so you'll get a really lengthy conversation with somebody who really cares on the telephone first off, if you contact us that way, so they can answer. You immediately have like straight away questions that you want, and you might not even want to wait a week to have your consultation to find out the answers to those questions. So feel free to bang loads of questions to us on the phone, and we'll try and put your mind at rest. We offer a really, really fast service, so if you need to see us within a week, which nobody waits more than a week, you will be offered support. So ultimately we like to think that we'll hold your hand before it happens, while it happens, and certainly after you've finished needing a wig. So you can expect some support. You can expect us to really go into the nitty gritty of hair loss, and answer every little tiny question that sometimes the nurses might not have time for, or they might not know the answers to. We do. So you can expect a really detailed consultation on everything that's going to happen, and we'll talk about how the hair will fall, when it'll fall, what to expect, how to put the wig on, how to try different wigs, how to wash the wig, we'll go through absolutely everything. And then we also go into what happens when your hair starts to grow back. So really a fully comprehensive service, really.
And where would ladies find the company that you work for?
So it's really important for us to be accessible for everybody, and we do believe that we are. So you can contact, we've got 2 salons, we've got one in Sunderland and we've got one in Jesmond, and we've also really perfected our online consultation process for women who don't feel good about coming out right now, or they might be too poorly to come out. You can telephone us at either of the salons. We've got a really good website which is very, very responsive.
And the name of that website?
That's wonderfulwigs.co.uk, and the telephone number and everything's on there. So you can email us, you can Facebook us, you can Instagram us, or you can telephone us, and you can get us either of those ways, and we can see you in either of the salons. If you cannot come out, we can come to you.
And I must admit as well, if you can get on Instagram or Facebook for Nicola, some of the examples of the wigs are absolutely amazing.
It really puts people's minds at rest to see the work that we do, and we try and display as much of work as we can. So if you look at one of our social medias, you'll see hundreds and hundreds of examples of happy women wearing their alternative hair.
You're involved in quite a lot of charities as well, and donating of hair as well, if people were interested in that as well.
Yeah, so we're a gold salon for Little Princess Trust, so there's only 8 of us in the world, which is really nice. So we see every single sick child in the northeast would come through one of our salons, so we do loads of work with them, and that they rely on people donating their human hair. So we accept donations of human hair that makes free wigs for children, which is amazing, and we do a lot with that.
Yeah, but it's a very humbling experience, and seeing these young children go through it.
Yeah, so this year I think we've done nearly 1,000 wigs for children.
That's amazing, absolutely amazing. So Nicola's come today and just got amazing service going on. If you want any more information, you've got the website there. But thank you so much for coming today, Nicola.
You're very welcome.